What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sip N Serve YouTube channel. Today we got a little something special for you. We've had this in the works for a while. We canceled because Troy didn't make it in time the first time. But here we are on our second try. And special shout out to Owl Creek Creations for giving us this nice little bourbon game tonight. A little more explanation on this. They brought 4 different bottles, mystery bottles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's different kinds of bourbon inside of these. They also gave us a scorecard for all 4 different bourbons. They want us to nose the bourbon, taste the bourbon, the finish of the bourbon, and then we're going to score it, and then we got to guess the type of bourbon that we think it is. DG, what's your thoughts on this?
Pretty unique idea. I didn't know that the bottles were going to be anonymous. I didn't know they were going to be like mystery bottles, and you had to guess what they were, so I like that. And then the guesses for me are I'm shooting blind, dude. I'm not going to have any idea.
So you're not a professional bourbon guy?
I would be very surprised if I got a single one of these right.
But I know this guy to your left. He's the bourbon king. Troy, I know you're excited for this.
I'm pumped for this.
How you feeling?
I'm ready to go for this. I've always wanted to do something like this with a group of my buddies. I mean, I know not everybody's into it as much as I am, but I've always wanted to pour blind bourbons, 3 or 4, in the same ballpark and do this same process here.
So once again, special shout out to Owl Creek Creations. Justin and Nate, thank you guys very much. Let's get into it, guys. So let's take bottle number 1. Let's pour a little bit in our glass here. So I'm basically going to host this shindig because I'm not a big bourbon guy, but I'm going to taste all of them. But I have no idea about, the nosing and the finish and all that. So I'm just going to taste a little bit. And these guys are going to actually play the game. And I've got the results right here, and we will make them known when we are finished. Let's go ahead and get a good nose. Now, Troy, I see you moving your glass over there. Now, what's that do for you? Explain it to me.
I was doing the same thing.
Well, I was trying to get it to open up some.
Now, what's open up mean?
Well, let it breathe. So it was, cooped up in this bottle all day.
Okay.
So maybe we get a little air in there, get it going to, pull something out of it.
Another thing is when you do that, it runs up on your glass there, and you can see the little oil coming down. Those are called legs.
Okay.
So you can see how leggy it is.
Does bourbon number 1 have legs?
It does.
Okay. So what we're going to do is these guys on the nose, taste, and finish, the highest score they can give is a 5. Lowest is 1. And then they'll add up nose, taste, and finish, and that'll be their final score, and then they'll give their guess. So that's what we're going to do. So go ahead and give your nose score, boys, if you haven't already, 1 out of 5, or 1 through 5. Let's move on to the taste part of this. Let's see how it tastes. Rough. 1 was rough.
You're not supposed to take it like a shot.
Well.
So what you're supposed to do, the first one, no matter what bourbon you taste, the first one is always going to burn. No matter what it is, it can be pappy, it can be whatever. That first is going to shock your taste buds so bad. So the first one, you should just take a little sip and kind of swoosh it around. And then the second one's where you get to taste.
Okay, well.
We're not taking shots here.
On my taste scale, that's a 1. Go ahead and write your taste there. And I guess you could go ahead and do the finish on it too as well.
For me, I don't think it's super complex. It's just kind of one flavor. I mean, it may be like a 4-year bourbon.
Let's go ahead and get the final score from each of you here. DG, what'd you get on bourbon number 1? Final score.
I gave the nose a 4, the taste a 3, and the finish a 3. So that's a 10 for bourbon 1 for me.
Okay. Troy?
I gave the nose a 3, the taste a 3, and the finish a 1.5.
So what's your total there?
Damn.
7.5.
7.5 on number 1. I'll be damned. Troy wasn't as big as a fan as you, DG. Corey, what do you got down here?
So my nose is a 2. I didn't think it smelled It didn't have a real pungy smell. Taste 2, finish 3. I like the finish. I like the finishes that like only like attack your mouth. I hate the ones that like go in the back of your throat. And that one kind of, I like that on it.
So you got a total of 7 there.
I got a 7 there.
Okay, 7 out of 15. All right, let's go to bourbon number 2, fellas. Go ahead and grab your glass, put your little dab in there. I'm going to take this one a little soft. Not really sure what the hell I'm doing. I'm more of a beer guy if you guys haven't noticed. Troy, what are you thinking about the nose on number 2?
I don't get as much.
Yeah, I feel the same. I feel like it's a little weaker than number 1.
I get more fruitier notes. Let's say that.
Okay, DG, what'd you think about the nose there?
Mine smells springier, grassier, greener. I don't know. Is that weird to say?
Mm-mm.
I like the nose probably just a hair better, but it's still. I'm gonna still give it a 3.
Okay,
for
good.
me.
Let's go over the scores here. Troy said 3. DG, what's your nose score for
I like that
bourbon
a lot.
number
It's
2?
it is not as
3.5.
aggressive as bourbon 1.
Okay.
It's kind of chills out a little
Yeah.
bit more. I like that.
3.5. I gave it a 3.5.
3.5. You're into the decimals tonight. I like that, Troy. Mixing it up a little bit. DG, you gave it a 5.
I did give it. That's a great nose.
Man, that's a perfect
That's
score.
one of the best noses.
Okay,
I've
Corey,
ever-
what you got on
nose.
this?
I gave it a 3.
Okay, now have you guys tasted it yet?
No.
I have. And I'm going to give you a little heads up here. This one is way better than number 1. Goes down way better, tastes way better. My taste scale on this one's a 4, and my finish is a 5 if I was playing this game.
All right.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that one's smooth.
Smooth.
That's a lot smoother.
I think Troy knows what it is.
No, I don't. That's so difficult to pick.
Yes.
Pick the
Yeah.
distillery. And if you watch videos online or YouTube,
What you do?
the professionals struggle with this.
Okay, so Troy, how about the taste and the finish there?
3.5 taste. I like it better than bourbon 1. The finish, I like a more burn like against Corey, so
Okay.
I like a little more heat, a little more warmth in the chest, and I'm not getting that out of 1 and 2 yet.
Okay. So your finish, what do you think your finish score would be?
We'll say 2.
Oh, 2. DG.
The taste for me was a 4.
Okay.
Well, I thought it was pretty sweet, sweeter than 1 in my opinion. And then the finish, I'm kind of with Corey when he was talking about bourbon 1. He likes 4. He doesn't quite like, or he didn't feel like bourbon 1 went down his throat at the end, or it down into his chest. This one just kind of stays in your mouth, which I like. So I'm going to give the finish a 4 also.
Okay. About you, Corey?
So I'm at a 4 taste and a 5 finish. I like the finish.
I do too.
It's
Well,
smooth.
I like the taste. Sorry.
So Corey's got a 12
I got
for
a
his
12.
total score.
Yeah.
DG 13. Troy, what's your total score on bourbon number 2?
9.
Man, he's lowballing
Oh,
these
he didn't
bourbons,
like
isn't
that
he?
one.
Everybody grab number 3 here. Let's go ahead and dabble with number 3. Let's go ahead and get a good nose on this one, boys.
Is this me?
Oh, now that one's strong. That's got a strong nose on it. Yeah, and then you see the nose there. I feel like the nose is a 4 on this one. Very strong nose.
I like this news. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay, everybody's got their nose. Now I guess we'll move straight on to the tasting of bourbon number 3.
That's weak.
Not a big fan of that one.
That one burns in the
I
back
don't,
of the throat.
I don't like the taste.
I don't like the finish. I really don't like the finish on this one. Finish for me is number 1. It just,
What don't you like about
it
it?
kind of tasted weird on the way down. Now you see, bourbon number 1, I said I didn't like the finish because it gave me a burning sensation down the back of the throat. On this one, I just didn't like the taste. The taste and the finish just wasn't there for me. But I like the nose.
These are all bourbons.
I'm almost positive.
I think this has a real nice nose.
It does, but I don't like the
I agree.
taste or the finish.
Same.
Troy, what do you think about the finish on that?
I think it's the worst finish of the 3.
I think so too. DG, thoughts on the finish?
Yeah, I gave the finish a 2, which is the lowest so far. The taste, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it really is about it, but Probably my least favorite bourbon so far.
Number 3 is not good. So, Corey, go ahead and go over your scores and your final.
So nose 3, and I gave a taste and a finish both a 1 with a total score of 5.
Okay, DG.
I gave the nose a 4. That was one of my favorite noses so far, but taste a 2, finish a 2 for a total of 8.
Total of 8. Okay, Troy's still down there doing math.
Nose is a 4, taste 2.5, finish is a 1. 7.5. It matches bourbon 1 for me.
Okay, guys, last bottle here. Mystery bottle number 4. Let's go ahead and get a nose on it. You know, it's while we're doing this and pouring this in our glass, let's just thank Owl Creek Creations one more time.
Man, it's fun.
It takes a lot of effort to do this.
I don't know about these two guys. I've never done something like this.
I
This is
haven't
cool.
either.
Not a blind like this. No.
I haven't either. They did a lot for us. They brought us 4 new hats as well. Let's go ahead and put a nose on it. It's more of that nose is a little softer than 1 and 3.
Yeah, I don't get a whole lot. I don't think it's not bad. It's not a bad nose. I'm not getting a lot.
Now, have you tasted that one yet?
No, not yet.
I just did. Not a fan. Corey, what do you think about number 4? How did that go down for you?
So that's what I was trying to look at. I know where I wanted to rank it. I think it's my second favorite out of the 4. So I gave it a 3 taste and a 4 finish. It like number 2. It don't burn. Like I've said, I don't like the big burn down the throat. This one just kind of burns the tongue. It's more of a mouth burn. Those are the ones I kind of like.
The finish for me is kind of going down a little deeper, kind of going down the back of the throat. I can feel this one in my stomach. You guys probably disagree with me.
I think it had the best finish, in my opinion. That's where I'll give it a higher score.
And by best, you mean
Just
what do you consider?
hangs
I
around.
mean, I feel like it's a subjective thing. It's just kind of whatever whiskey you think has the best finish. That's based on what you like in a finish. You know what I mean? Like you guys, I mean, did that one go down your throat?
Yeah, but I thought this one was the most spicier. I don't know if this is really a characteristic, but it's the most spiciest one I've had tonight out of the 4.
Corey with the K, what was your final score on bourbon number 4?
I gave it a 9 out of 15.
9 out of 15, so that's in your second place.
Correct.
Okay. DG, final score?
10.5 for me on that one.
So that is coming in second place as well.
Yes.
Okay. Troy, final score?
I got 3s for all of them. 3 nose, 3 taste, 3 finish. It's a 9.
Troy, I've noticed your scorecard down there, and you're missing 2 guesses. Can you tell me what's going through your mind? All the bourbon bottles, all the labels.
I'm going to guess Wild Turkey 101 for this last one. Because I do think it's got more rye than all of them. Number 3, I don't. Whew. Let me try number 3 one more time.
Okay. DG, your guesses are full. Let's just start with you on this one.
Yeah.
Bourbon number 1. What did you think bourbon number 1 was?
Wild Turkey 101.
Wild Turkey 101. Now that's more of a. They say it's a strong bourbon.
It's a 101 proof, which means it's 50.5% alcohol. It's pretty
stout.
relatively high.
Relatively high. Okay. And number 2?
I thought that Jim Beam, I believe, makes bottles of bourbon called Basil Hayden's. It's more of a second shelf bourbon, but it's very smooth and very drinkable, which is what I like about it.
And then number 3?
Yeah. I thought number 3 was Four Roses because I wasn't a fan of number 3, and I've never really been a fan of Four Roses as far as how it tastes. It just has a distinct taste to me, and I'm not a big fan, and Bourbon 3 kind of reminded me of that. So Bourbon 3 was Four Roses for me, and then Bourbon 4, I thought it was just good old Jim Beam.
And that's one of your favorites, correct?
Yeah. Kind of a little more, kind of penetrates your throat a little bit more. People are going to have fun with that sound bite. Down your chest, like through your breastbone, like down into the top of your stomach.
Yeah. Okay, Corey, take us through 1 through 4.
1, I had Jim Beam. Number 2, I'm kind of second guessing because it's not as sweet as my guess, but my first taste was Maker's. But I don't think
Maker's Mark.
that was the first. That was more of the taste more than the finish there. And then 3, I thought it was maybe lower end, but after DG said 4 Roses, I'm the same way. I'm not a big 4 Roses fan, but my guess was Ezra Brooks. It's like a lower tier one. And then Bourbon 4.
Surprised you said that one.
Bourbon 4, I threw in Evan Williams.
Evan Williams. Okay. Troy, take us through your guesses here. We'll get into the results.
All right, can't wait. Bourbon 1, I said Wild Turkey 86. Bourbon 2, I said Weller 107. I don't think it is, but that's the only thing I could compare it to. Bourbon 3, I said Jim Beam White Label. And Bourbon 4, I said Wild Turkey 101. And I scored 2 and 4 equal, but I think I enjoy, before I see these results, I think I enjoyed number 2 more than all of them.
Okay. And DG says the same thing, right?
Yep.
Likewise.
And, everybody likes number 2. Okay. Here we go. Number 1 was Elijah Craig Small Batch. Now, do you guys like Elijah?
Yeah.
I've never had it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have either.
Okay. Now, I have a feeling number 2 is going to surprise you guys. Number 2 is a bourbon that I've tried in the past few days, and I actually liked it.
Oh.
Oh, I know what it is.
And it's actually on the table right now.
Oh.
Number 2 is Buffalo Trace.
Oh. Well, I had the right distillery.
Yeah, that explains it.
Number 2 is Buffalo Trace.
Hmm.
Number 3 might surprise you guys here. How about a little Woodford Reserve?
Wow, I didn't
Okay.
get that.
Little Woodford.
Yeah, I didn't either.
No,
And
I scored it bad.
I'm just never, I like the nose on it.
Now, are you guys fans of Woodford?
I like the Woodford Double Oak better.
When I think Woodford, I think of kind of like they're kind of uppity in the bourbon world.
Yeah.
You know, like they kind of turn their noses up at bourbons like original Jim Beam and Jack Daniels and blue collar whiskeys like that.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, we went on a tour down there one time, and dude, it's a beautiful. Their property's beautiful, just rolling hills, far as the eye can see, big, beautiful rick houses. And when you go in for your tasting, it's in this room. At least it used to be. Roaring fire in the fireplace. They bring out this plank of all their different bourbons, and they give you a tasting. And
So fancy, ritzy.
Ritzy.
Okay. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of you guessed number 4 right. If I'm not mistaken now, I've been known to make a mistake here or there, but I think one of you guessed number 4 right. Number 4 is Wild Turkey 101. Troy.
Got it right.
The winner. Troy. The Bourbon King.
That's impressive.
One out of 4.
I really didn't think I would get one of those correct. I got number 2, the distillery, correct, but it was a little bit off. And then, number 4, I'm surprised at that. Cool.
That's saying to even get one of those right is pretty impressive because, dude, there's so many different kinds of bourbon out there and so many different flavors and tastes and finishes. That's impressive.
Troy,
You can tell this guy's done it a lot.
congratulations, Troy, on winning the first ever bourbon tasting game on the Sip N Serve Podcast YouTube channel.
All right, I'll take it.
Once again, thanks Owl Creek Creations for all of this. I mean, we had fun. Hope you guys enjoy the video. We'll see you next time.